Did you know you breathe 20,000 times a day? What if you could use a few of those breaths to promote healing, consciously promote healing, actively do so, not just random breathing, but focused on healing? I'm going to teach you how to do that this month. We're going to study the respiratory system. We're going to start with breathing. I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And our wellness journey here in 2017 starts with the respiratory system, okay? And why the respiratory system? So let's look at how important the respiratory system is, what it means in our wellness context, and then how do we start that process of engaging with our breathing and a look into the respiratory system. So I'm going to tell you where we're headed this month with the respiratory system, but we're going to talk right now a little bit about what this means. So let's look at the word. I always like definitions. And the respiratory system, respirate, spirate, and then you've got this root word here that it sounds a lot like spirit, right? Well, you know, that's actually a very, very real way that we think about respiration, and it's in the root word. We think of inspire and expire. Well, you think, well, wait a minute. But if I think of breathing in, we talk about inhaling when we refer to the respiratory system, but if you use the same root word and we say inspire instead of inhale, inspire and expire, those would be pretty powerful words, right? If I'm inspired or if I inspirate, okay, it sounds like a weird word, but if I inspirate, then that is basically God coming within. That's the meaning of inspire, God within. And then expire, what with that? That's a pretty powerful word too. Means that's it. We're done. I mean, it's at the end of the road. Inspire and expire. So this is what we're talking about. But respire, respiration. The respire is that cycle between inspire and expire. Okay, and you might starting to kind of, that's an interesting play of the words, but you start to hear in that Christian perspective, we talk about dying to self. In a way, every expiration is a letting go, right? What do we know about the breathing process? If I'm breathing in what? Oxygen, but it's not just oxygen, I'm breathing in life. I'm breathing in vitality. It's the whole energy of everything that runs in my body is centered around oxygen and at the very molecular level. So I'm breathing in life and vitality, okay? And if I breathe out, I'm breathing out what? Carbon dioxide, right? Which is the end product, the death. It's the little mini death. If I were to increase my carbon dioxide to a certain level, it would kill me. It's a toxin. So this whole respiration, this process of in and out, in and out, in and out, is really life and death right here every moment, every 6 seconds or however often it happens, okay? And so we're talking about a process that is absolutely vital. We'll talk a little bit more about this tomorrow in the context of how powerful breathing is and where that fits in. But so this process of breathing is so important. And if we learn to get in touch with this, I think you're going to find that it carries us all throughout the entire wellness program as a powerful, powerful tool for healing, and we're going to be learning to use this. So breathing in and out. You know, okay, well, I've been breathing in and out all my life. What do I need to learn about breathing? Well, there's a lot to learn about breathing, and we're going to talk about breathing mechanics. We're going to talk about posture and effects on breathing. We're going to talk about tension and stress and its effects on breathing. We're going to talk about emotional elements and its effect on breathing. We have effects on the respiratory system from the digestive system and things. We're going to talk about those things. But there's also mechanics of the actual breathing process that we can start to get to know and utilize that gets us more in touch with breathing in the process. So if I'm breathing 20,000 times a day, and I'm only or I've lost 10% or 20% of that breath capacity because I'm tight or I'm really haven't learned how to breathe deeply. If I learn how to breathe deeply and I get a deeper breath for every one of those 20,000 breaths, do you think that's going to have a big impact on your health? Absolutely. More oxygen in is a very good thing, okay? The consequences of having low oxygen in our tissues is well documented, okay? And list goes on and on and on. It affects all kinds of things, but makes us tired, it increases our pain, increases our inflammation. We have all kinds of consequences of not having enough oxygen, okay? So very, very important. So let's start with this idea of just participating consciously with our breathing, okay? And there's actually a really good book that I had started with that got me involved with this. It was called Conscious Breathing by Gay Hendricks, and maybe I'll put that in the comments. But so this idea of breathing consciously, of being aware of our breathing. Now, if you're one of those people that says, oh, wow, we're going to get into this new age stuff and you're going to start doing this breathing. Okay, if you're one of those people worried about breathing and its connection to new age, please go listen to my Breathing for Christians, which I'll make a link for that also in the description, and you'll get a perspective on that. It's, God has all kinds of discussion of breathing throughout the Bible and how he connects his spirit entering into man through breath. There's a lot of references for that. So us honoring God's mechanism of vitalizing us in the first place makes sense to me to participate in something that is that powerful enough to be in our formation. And so if we can continue using that, why wouldn't we? I mean, he's given us that power, that ability to consciously participate in our healing process through breath. Why not use it? Okay. So there's also another component about, and I've been mentioning here, you've heard this word here throughout, this consciousness, the word of consciousness. And again, a lot of people start talking about, oh, you're New Age, you're talking about consciousness. Oh, please. New Age is not consciousness is not a New Age concept, okay? Being aware and conscious is what we're all about. We need to, what's the benefit of being unaware and unconscious, okay? So yes, our awareness matters. What we focus on gets bigger. What we focus on grows. So if we're aware of our breathing, we're going to breathe better. Okay, this is really all we're really talking about. So what we're going to do 4 times a day today, and then throughout this, we're going to do our morning water. We've got we've already started that, but we're going to have little action steps every day. And today I really want you to be aware of breathing in and out. Now, a lot of us would say, okay, take a deep breath. And I take a deep breath. Well, a lot of times we'll get a better breath if we exhale first. So it looks like this. So I get a much calmer, deeper, better inhale if I exhale first. So let's get the old, tired, stressed air out so I can bring in that new, vitalized air in. That's what I want you to practice throughout the day today and probably this whole month, is bringing in some consciousness to your breathing at least 4 times a day. If you could do it every hour, that would be even better. But breathe out in a really good exhale. You might even, as you're exhaling, imagine that old tiredness and stress leaving your body. And then inhale and bring in all this new vital energy. Now, we're going to add one more piece to this, and that is our Young Living essential oils. And grab an oil that you have, a Young Living oil that you have. I just got this brand new Excite. So we just kind of use whatever you've got right now. If you've just ordered your kit, it might be coming. So I know your oils for the month aren't here, but grab an oil that you have, a Young Living oil. I've got my Excite blend. And when we're doing our inhalation, exhalation, we're going to add an essential oil to it because it enhances the experience of breathing. So I'm going to put 3 or 4 drops of this Excite oil in my hand and a gentle spread, and then inhale. And another gentle spread and inhale. Now blow out and inhale. So I'm getting 3 or 4 really good breaths of getting that oil in. I'm feeling it go up into the upper respiratory. I feel it go down into the lower respiratory. So I'm starting to get my experience of my whole system. I can feel the tingle up in my sinuses. I can start to feel the tingle in my lungs. This is starting to get me more in tune and in touch with my whole breathing. We are going to go through this month, we're going to go through the whole respiratory system. We're going to talk about the anatomy and physiology. We're going to talk about what happens in there. We're going to talk about the mucus. Yeah, mucus. We're going to talk about these tension patterns and the actual mechanisms of breathing. We're going to do all that. Not today. We're going to do one piece at a time. But this week, we're primarily going to focus on this overview of wellness, what this all means, how we make sense of this. But let's do this breathing. Get your oil at least 4 times a day, better even once an hour, and do a conscious exhale first, inhale deeply, and then make sure you're doing your morning water. Okay, so that's our goal for today, and we're going to carry that on through the month and potentially through the year, as you'll start to realize how important breathing is, and we'll be using it throughout. Okay, happy wellness.